Whose beeper keeps beeping and beeping, huh? Is that yours? We're recording. We're on, man. We're live. Yeah.
I'm just glad the fucking power came back on. What a fucking nightmare, dude.
That's right,
especially with a 6-year-old.
Oh yeah, what it? I mean, and this is you're coming up on Thanksgiving. You're coming up on Halloween. The little fella's probably fucking really charged up, like JoJo, the Indian circus boy.
Dude, he is pure. He is pure Super Mario, or as he calls it, Super Mario and the Super Brothers. He is just juiced up for that shit. Thankfully, we live in an era where everything's kind of pre-charged. Now, when you said, "Hey, motherfucker, power don't come on. You're doing this shit on your phone," I was just like, 40%. I can't do an hour and a half podcast with 40% battery. I don't even know if my data plan will allow me to take on that much of a mission all at once. But he's walking around and he's using his little Nintendo, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I did try to sneak a nap in, like, "Hey, Daddy needs to go get some power of his own, champ." That didn't fucking work. Never works. There's no naps with a child. I cannot wait for that day to come back around.
Naps are nice, man. That's undervalued or underrated as a parent, I assume. But yeah,
you assume. Listen to you, fucking.
I don't know. I nap as I please.
That's right. Want to take a nap?
It's a tough life.
I got to drop my pen. Not that I'm taking notes or anything. I'm taking roll. Something came to mind today. All right, very pertinent, earth-shattering, change the way you think about the world type of question. Okay, you've heard the term "that sucks donkey dick," yeah?
Yes.
Okay. How is it that the donkey penis or donkey member became the lowest of the low in the animal kingdom of sucking another animal's penis? Is it just the alliteration of DD? And if so, I think you could probably dingo dick.
I think I have the answer for you. Because as soon as you said it, my brain instantly went into a whirlwind.
You immediately started thinking about donkey dicks. Okay, fair enough, yeah.
Horse dick, not manageable. That's unmanageable. I know we've seen those videos from like the mid-'80s from some chick in Holland who decided to take one on herself.
And I know what you're saying because it's a regular dude, me, then horse dick. I'm familiar with it, yeah.
Now, donkey dick, though extremely large, is manageable, okay? So it's not out of the question to say, okay, you're going to take that donkey dick on, aren't you? Like, that donkey dick, it's doable. It's doable but uncomfortable. But it's giant, massive dick that's doable. It's almost like it's not too obnoxious to accomplish, but it's still a challenge and a chore, and it's not very comfortable to take on.
Alan, do you agree with this logic?
I'd have to agree. Yeah. I mean, I think the alliteration does have something to do with it. Like, it makes it comedically easier to say. You know what I mean? And funnier to say. Like, horse dick just doesn't have the same ring to it. But, yeah, no, I mean, 100%. It's large, but not like possibly mortally injure you large.
Yes, it won't break you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So, it makes sense.
Horse shit,
Yeah, that's different though.
Is horse shit that much bigger than donkey shit that it's just that much more robust and floor you? I don't think I've ever compared donkey shit to horse shit in a side by side kind of comparison, but
my mind goes instantly back to logic here. Okay, so horses generally you have a pack of horses, right? On a farm, anywhere that there's horses, there's usually lots of horses and very few donkeys. So you're more apt to step in horse shit than you are to step in donkey shit.
That's true.
It's just numbers game.
And again, with the linguistics, it flows. Horse shit.
Single syllable.
I mean, you're already in the S that same letter category with your mouth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Versus donkey shit. I mean, it works.
See, I think
doesn't have that pop.
Yeah, while Murr's logic weirdly doesn't seem flawed, and it's actually kind of making some sense. I still just tend to agree that we're marketing to idiots. I feel like it's donkey dick, horse shit, those type of things flow off because you don't have these are horse animals. These are
Equine animals.
these are zoo animals. No, I'm sorry. These are farm animals. Cow shit.
Yeah, but well, and I would say that the size of the horse, it's worse to step in horse shit than it is to step in donkey shit. And by the way, I haven't really gone around. I don't actually know what donkey shit looks like. Is it similar to horse shit but smaller? Or is it similar to goat turds, where it's like a bunch of like little nuggets?
I was going to say it's like tennis balls, but yeah, that's fine.
I was going to say like acorns, like acorn size.
Wasn't that goat poop?
Yeah, but goat poop's more like peanut M&M.
Oh, okay.
Whereas like rat shit's like raisin, and then rabbit turds are like
rat.
like rabbit turds are like milk duds.
You guys will be actually relatively shocked. I just assumed it was a pile of horse shit that was smaller. You're actually more on point with the pellet-sized stuff here.
Look at that.
Yeah, see?
Look at that.
Wow.
It's like plums.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that fucking animal.
It's majestic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like calling? I think that's on par with calling Trump's little jig impressive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as farm animals go, like again, as Alan says, the bar is pretty low.
The bar is low. Very low.
Especially now. What is the best farm animal? Like what? I mean, chickens. At least you get something from them. You get eggs from them when they're done with their time. You kill them. You execute them. You get your 2-for-1 with chickens. It's a durable, versatile. I don't know. It's a hardy animal that gets the things done. Again, in numbers, you can raise a shit ton of them on the cheap. What's a horse do for you on the modern farm? What do you need a fucking horse on a farm for?
Well, the travel was the big thing.
Yeah, but now the modern.
Yeah, now they're pretty much useless.
No, that they.
I think they're a long-term investment for like.
They have big dogs, man.
Over a decade, you'll have like a down season, and so like for farming, you know what I'm saying? So like you
The horse crops low this year.
Well, you stud one out, get a couple grand, and you fucking turn one into Alpo.
Do they still?
That's another couple grand. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I'm usually the insensitive
a
one.
reserve investment.
Do they still pull stuff now? They still manage certain farm tools, or is that all that? Not really, right?
I think we have engines. I think we have things. So we have these things that make many times more than 1 horsepower, and we use those to do all the work. Yeah. At least that's what I've learned.
Well played. Well played. Yeah, I would say that the chickens and the cows, man, like they're all pulling double duty for you. I mean, I know generally we eat the bulls, we milk the cows.
I was gonna say, I think cows all the way. You're milking them.
Yeah, but you need a lot of real estate for cows. You need a lot of feed for cows. There's a lot of money that goes in the cow. Yeah, you get some return on that, but I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. There's more processing. But like even the dumb shit like me could go out back and put like, I don't know, I've got an acre of land. I could probably do 10 chickens out back, get some eggs. When those fuckers start losing their feathers, snap some necks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dude, why don't you start farming? You're looking for new work anyway.
That's a good point. I was thinking about it the other day. If all of us could just get a little chunk of land and learn how to manage it, we wouldn't necessarily. Yeah, we'd want the internet and all that horse shit. Horse shit. Back to it. But like, I started thinking like how much money I spend on food. Like if I could just manage like, I don't know, some tomatoes, some green beans, and some chickens, I could probably subsidize 60% of my diet.
So you're talking about getting a little plot of land, right?
Well, I have a plot of land. I just don't do anything with it.
And you're talking about getting a few of us and some other people to join you, and we live amongst each other, right?
Yes, and we'll all have a very similar ideology.
Okay. I knew we were going to work this in one way or another.
I just want to make sure that I heard that correctly. So 60% of your diet, is tomatoes, chicken, and green beans. What the fuck dish are you eating?
Well, no,
of the time.
I'm saying if I had those 3 items, I could do away with. So I honestly, the other day, I was thinking, when was the last time I ate a vegetable? My diet honestly consists of a chicken dish or a beef dish and either macaroni and cheese or mashed potatoes. That's it. There's no in between. I don't remember the last time I got a leafy green inside this body, which is probably a problem that I need to solve.
That's
I figured throw some green beans in there, and tomato is like somewhere it's like, it's a mix between a vegetable and a fruit. So that accomplishes 2 missions right there all in one. Chicken's pure protein for the most part. So I'm saying 60% of my diet. The other 40% is probably pizza and potato chips.
You should probably fix that.
Yeah, probably.
I like
just eat a carrot every now and then. Just carry a sack of carrots. They last a long time. Or radishes. Radishes, those are good.
Hell yeah.
Like a radish.
Radish with salt, a little bit of butter.
Yeah, a little salt.
Yeah.
A little lemon juice.
Wonderful.
No, they're not. They're terrible. They're crunchy and spicy. They leave like a weird spiciness in your mouth. It's just unreasonable.
See, Alan, this is where we get back to Murr's delicate white boy palate. Now,
yeah. No, I have this conversation like once a week with my wife because she's not a big vegetable eater either. And I'm like, try this. And she's just like, bleh. This is I think I gave her asparagus once and it was like roasted. So it was a little soft. And she was like, yeah, it's too soft. She was like, bleh, this is poop. And I was like, it's delicious. I'm sitting here like just wolfing down fucking asparagus stick after asparagus stick. Yeah. If you're not into it, it's tough.
I do have to say, I have learned to like asparagus. So I have had something green in the last 6 months. Because what I'll do is I'll actually cook a couple ribeyes in a cast iron pan on the on top of the stove. I'll broil them real quick. And when they're done, you got all the beef fat inside the skillet still. And then I'll put a little bit of salt, pepper, throw the asparagus in the beef fat, throw a lid on top of the cast iron. And then I've probably got, I don't know, asparagus that's probably 1,000 calories a serving. Easy. But the fresher it is, man. I hadn't eaten asparagus in years, and I remember I took a leak at work, and it seriously smelled like I shit out of my penis. It was that pungent and bad.
It had been a long time since I had eaten some too. I think it was this summer, and then I peed, and my wife was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, asparagus pee."
No, baby, I just peed. Yeah.
Also,
it stinks.
Also, when you're at the store next time, we need more asparagus. Keep that in mind.
And you know,
jot that down.
There's a certain percentage. I'd have to read up on this again. I have the internet at my fingertips, but I'm not going to open up a page here because I want to get to some bits. But there's a percentage of people who it stinks and they can't smell it. They don't actually know that they have stanky ass asparagus pee.
Is that just asparagus like exclusive, or is it like they just can't smell that they suck in life and hygiene?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna try to throw some donkey dick logic at you.
I
got nothing. I have no idea. I just I read it on the internet, thought it was true. Probably is.
By the way, if you ever go to like any of the Nordic countries where there's like caribou/reindeer, don't pee around them because they will attack you and they will try to drink your pee. They'll try to go straight from the source, which is not a good idea to have reindeer teeth around your cock, because apparently they love psychedelic mushrooms. And back in the day, apparently the Vikings would eat psychedelic mushrooms, and it's more potent when it comes out of your urine. And so they will lap up the urine to get themselves hella high and stoned out of their fucking reindeer gourds.
Jeez.
So are you saying that we should probably be marketing mushroom pee as a drug to the youth? Because I feel like they'll do that.
Maybe not the youth.
I mean, we got to market it to fucking seniors? I don't think they're going to be into that kind of stuff. That's a little kinky. You can convince the 20-somethings that drinking mushroom pee is the way to go.
Okay, just like anything else in this world that's terrible for you, we can market it to the youth. I just don't think we should explicitly say that we're marketing to the youth.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, but like 18 and over is what I meant, youth.
Uh-huh.
Not like Yeah, not like high school kids. That's still Rickaloff. If you're in high school and you're fucking microdosing mushroom urine from Viking pee, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to fucking be vomiting on yourself in the backyard of your friend's house after you fucking decided to shotgun a fifth of Rickaloff, and you like threw one cranberry in it just to call it a cranberry and vodka. That's how you should be living your 16-year-old life.
Fifth of Rickaloff.
Yeah. Or Zelko. Whatever your choice. Whatever. I don't know what the kids are doing.
Wolfsburg.
Whatever's in plastic. Go for the plastic. If it's in glass, it's too classy for you.
We done did it. We went off the rails. Well, folks,
life lessons.
15 minutes in to welcome you all to the little class holes. The horseshit class, the middle class holes. I'm Wes. With me is Alan and Murr. Gentlemen, welcome. I wanted to start off the show by congratulating the Los Angeles Dodgers for winning their first World Series for the first time in 32 years. It was a great World Series. If you guys watched it too much, I could also go into little tangents about how Snell got pulled way too early. And this is the second time in as many years in World Series that the coaches had done that. But first, I wanted to congratulate Major League Baseball because I thought we were dead in the waters. I thought the season wasn't going to happen, and then it happened, and then teams started getting COVID, and I was like, oh, shit, they're going to close this shit down, and they didn't. They came up with a plan. The players stuck to it. They got through a World Series. They got through an exciting playoff race and playoffs in general, and then the shit almost hit the fan as Justin Turner found out he was COVID-19 positive with about 2 innings left, and then celebrated with the team afterwards. If they lost that game, this would have been a fucking charade. And this is so weird to me that the team was like, well, fuck it. We won the World Series. Let's do it. Your thoughts on this?
I have no issue with it. I have no issue with them allowing him to celebrate with them, and I have no issue with him celebrating with them. I'll elaborate, but Alan.
I guess it's up to them, like as a club, as a team. I think, he probably shouldn't, generally speaking. I don't know who else was in attendance, if it was just the boys. You know, they're all Apex athletes. Fuck it. Let them get
Dave Roberts, the coach, is survived a form of cancer like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, probably bad move. Probably bad move on his part. Probably should have told his player, hey, high risk, but whatever. We're millionaires, man. We won the World Series. Let's fucking do it.
Well, at the point that he learned that he had COVID, he'd already been around everybody, which means everybody now has to quarantine themselves anyway. Yeah. So what's a couple more hours around each other? I mean, I get it that they could, he may not have spread it just yet. Okay, maybe you're right. But if you're worried about what he's got, then you individually should peel off and just go your separate way. Like if Captain Coach there was like, all right, well, I guess I got to get away from this whole hootenanny. Because technically they should all disperse and not be around each other anyway. So you can't take professional athletes who have now put themselves in this pressure cooker, the pressure cooker of the World Series, the pressure cooker of just simply getting back to baseball, the pressure cooker of being in that kind of bubble situation where they bond to such an extreme level. You can't expect them to just magically you tested positive, time to go our separate ways. Ain't going to happen, man. They're willing to throw caution to the wind, and I don't have any problem with them celebrating. I don't have any problem. I actually think they should just let him finish the game. He's already when they pull him out, 7th inning.
Yeah, it was. Excuse me. 2 innings left. So sometime around then when they because he had an inconclusive test the day before. And then they got the test. They did it again today, and that's how long it took. It took till about the 6th inning for Major League Baseball to catch wind of it. Then they told the Dodgers by the 7th inning they got to pull him.
So the Dodgers themselves probably already knew that he was positive, and it just probably took that long for Major League Baseball. I thought those tests only took 15, 20 minutes, and they were supposed to do them before the game anyway, and you weren't supposed to play until you knew the answer.
Yeah, but so they were doing it every other day in the playoffs at this point. They were shipping the tests out to Utah, to an independent lab, and this lab in Utah was doing it.
That's on Major League Baseball, if you ask me, because And I know I bring him up a lot. A lot of people do. He's made $100 million on his podcast, but like Rogan gets people tested before the show. Like, and if they test positive before the show, it's a no-go. And if they test negative, then show's on. So if a guy, an independent guy, one dude running one show 2 to 3 times a week can test each and every one of his guests and know before the microphones turn on if they're positive or not, then how could Major League Baseball not accomplish the same mission? They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So to me, the fact that he was already in the game, I don't know. I mean, if you want to protect the other team from him, then yeah, pull him out of the game. But I don't know. I just think it's up to each individual if they wanted to be around or not. Team vote. I just don't think the team had a problem with it. So I think outside eyes are the ones that have the bigger issue than the people inside the dugout.
I don't necessarily have the problem with the team making that conscious decision. I wish it had been a little more. They pulled him, and perhaps it should have been. I mean, maybe we're going to let you celebrate with still a little bit of protocol, if you ask me. But then again, if the players made this decision, then so be it. That's fine. I'm looking more towards the point where had they lost that game and it had to go to a Game 7 and he couldn't have played, it would have been a media fiasco. It would have been absolute fucking just holy shit. And then yes, I agree. There's probably other Dodgers players who are going to test positive as a result of this. And if they couldn't have played Game 7, I mean, Turner is a game changer. He's a great third baseman. He's been hitting the cover off the ball. He's been playing really well during the postseason. And if they had fucked themselves on a Game 7 type thing, that would have been bad. It would have been bad for the Dodgers and Major League Baseball.
Sure, but win or lose, I mean, he would have tested positive either way. So, I mean, it wouldn't have been his fault either way. He had to catch it from somebody else. He just would have been the biggest name, so the easiest scapegoat.
Maybe he was screwing that Anchorage reporter from the Fox ABC.
I was going to say, how did he get it? If they were just, he was definitely fucking doing something silly. Is he a married guy? Is he a married guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Do we know? Oh, I don't know. Not that matters. He's a professional athlete, but just
I still just don't think we know how anybody gets COVID.
No, I think we know exactly how people get COVID. It's just people either care or don't care.
I mean, besides the air, have we discovered that you get it any other way but the air? Like, do we have to wear the gloves anymore? Like, that's gone, right? We don't have to do that, do we? Really?
It's just
no. I mean, was it really a big thing? I think it was a thing for like a day. And then they were like, "Yeah, it doesn't stick around on surfaces long."
No, but your hands being clean. It's just. It's an extra measure.
That's just fucking common.
Don't put your hands in your mouth and your nose, and then wash your hands.
Yeah, like even the flu season, that's just the common thing. Wash your fucking hands. Don't be a dirtball.
Yeah. God, who doesn't do that? All right.
But either way, I didn't watch the World Series. Sadly,
damn it.
I watched a little bit of it, but not really.
This is what I wanted to say. I was thinking about this. So, Blake Snell, who was mowing the Dodgers down for 6 2/3 innings, let up a hit, and Christ,
the analytics said you got to pull him.
The Tampa Bay Rays coach, Kevin Cash, pulled him because based on analytics, like this is our move. This is the way we do it, and you have to have a little bit of an eye or gut check test as a manager, in my opinion. Yeah, this is a new age, it's analytics, but if you're going to play this fucking paint-by-numbers coaching, like, this is what I got to do, it's almost like flashcard decision-making. So if that's the case, why even have a fucking coach? Some clown can make that, like, oh, this is the table, and these are the statistics, and this is what I got to do. And the player he put in, Nick Anderson, has been a phenomenal middle reliever all season. That move probably works out more often than it doesn't, and he would and Kevin Cash would be the first person to tell you that. But it did. A child could have watched how Blake Snell was pitching and realized, like, yeah, we can't take him out until the shit starts to hit the fan. The horse shit starts to hit the pasture. So that's all I want to say about it. I'm pissed off.
I did look at the numbers because I did see Twitter explode as soon as that move happened. So I was like, well, he didn't really do anything wrong, it seems like. Maybe giving up that hit would have juiced him up to pitch even better for the next, like, inning and a half. Like, he was mad that he, I do agree with you. I think analytics is something you should definitely probably, stick to during the marathon of the season, but come playoff time, I mean, these are athletes, let their emotions work for them. Like if he started getting hot-headed or overly aggressive because he was trying to make up for a quote-unquote mistake. But at some point, like, baseball's baseball. Great pitchers give up hits and home runs and all sorts of random shit. You just got to let them pitch through it. And the fact that it was going into that World Series, it was like, 3-2? So
into that game, yeah. So they need to win.
So yeah, it's do or die. And if you're going to try to squeeze a Game 7, you're going to start running low on pitchers. So, stretch them out, baby. Especially if they're not in, if the bases were loaded and he started, throwing balls or something. Okay, yeah, make that call. Yeah, no. But, yeah, you're right. You can't. Otherwise, you should just have CoachBot 2000 just fucking, sitting in the dugout.
Well, by that same logic, I understand that if you don't win Game 6, you can't get to Game 7. So you got to kind of throw the kitchen sink in a do-or-die situation if you're in that in order to get to Game 7, and you'll work all the bullshit out. Like, okay, who can pitch? Who can throw? Who can throw a pitch? But they weren't at that point. He had struck out, I think, 7. He had let up 2 hits, had 1 walk. And even
he was on 70 pitches. Or
72 pitches. Yeah, and Corey Seager had said we had nothing for him. He struck out 1 through 3 the first two times through the lineup. And was like, yeah, when they took him out, that was a boost for us. We were like, great, we don't have to see that fucking guy who's killing us tonight.
I'm just waiting for God. I need me a Kenny Powers, man. Like a legit Kenny Powers. Because I watched his press conference. He's like, skipper's call. Just gotta do what's best for the team. Yeah, it's tough, but we'll be back. I need him. No, motherfucker! Did you see that? I was killing it. Fuck you. Fuck this whole team. I'm going to New York. Just like Kenny Powers.
My contract's up in 2 years. My contract's up in 2 years. You see that? That's $1 billion arm.
It's not like what they do with Kershaw when they bring him in the 7th and he threw 160 pitches the day before, and he looks like he's about to physically collapse. Snell was he was good. He was grooving.
Yeah.
Got a hit. It happens. That's the fucking game. But the analytics, man. You're stealing the soul of the game just a little bit when you do stupid shit like that.
I would like to see some more, professional wrestler-esque hijinks out of Major League Baseball. Dude, Brian Wilson, that motherfucker was just that was just awesome. His run with the Giants was just fantastic. The fucking beard, the machine, all that horse shit.
Oh yeah,
it was entertaining, and he backed it up.
John Rocker.
I was gonna say, besides all his shitbag shit, John Rocker.
Yeah.
Great entertainment.
John Rocker was like the Owen Hart of pitchers. Just kind of a twat douchebag, but he was so hot-headed that it kind of made it laughable and funny. And then didn't he say a bunch of racist shit on a fucking subway and tank his career?
Some I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Homosexual with AIDS, and he said it a lot more derogatory than that. I feel guilty about lending credence to that, but God.
Yeah, no, but my point is that I don't think the John Rocker thing was a persona. I think it was more personality, whereas the Brian Wilson thing was more persona than personality. It's just he had a fun personality that allowed that persona to shine without being a total twat about it.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to the Dodgers. I hope everyone who needs to be safe on that team is safe. It was a great World Series. Congratulations to Major League Baseball. I didn't think it was going to happen. They proved me wrong. I'm glad they did because I'm a baseball fan, and that was fun to watch. Moving on to more pressing news. All right, something that we shouldn't be talking about, but we need any publicity that we can get. Kim Kardashian and family celebrate her 40th birthday on a deserted island, where Big Booty Kim and her sisters and all the entire entourage joined them all on yachts, in caviar, and any type of champagne you can imagine. God, why didn't we drop a bomb or shoot a submarine and a fucking missile into that goddamn thing?
Did we ever get a clear response on whether or not it was Epstein's Island? Is that for rent now? Can you just rent it? Is that a thing?
That fucker's locked down, dude. I actually heard somebody talking about it, how they were going to try to scuba dive to it. But apparently there's all sorts of nefarious forces guarding that particular island at this time. But the Kardashians, all because of Ray J and Kim K, they can buy whatever the fuck they want. And it sickens you.
Just for frame of reference, this was her at the birthday party.
Yeah. She just doesn't do it for me.
Sometimes I wonder why she doesn't do it for me, because I see these pictures and I'm like,
because you remember her when she got Ray Jade, and you were like, yeah, you were a kind of attractive girl back then, and now you look at her now and you're like, what did you do to yourself?
I actually
think
feel
that's me personally. Back then I was like, yeah, Kim could get it.
Sometimes I'm actually glad for them that they have all that money, because I know how vapid and fragile their lives really are. So I don't know. I don't envy them, to be honest with you.
No, at least one of them would have killed themselves if they weren't famous. So, yeah, that's fair. For the sake of life.
So if you would have gotten like a Willy Wonka pass to this 40th, would have you gone?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Free shit.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't judging. I thought I would have done it.
Dude, you would experience, I don't know, champagnes and liquors and all sorts of spirits that you'd have to mortgage your house just to have like an eyedropper full dabbed onto your tongue. You know, like, I mean, it's just they wouldn't have let me come there because I wouldn't have been allowed to be in any pictures. They wouldn't have wanted me accidentally coming into frame in the background. I probably would have had to undergo some sort of facelift and eyelid surgery before they even let me touch the sand. That sand is probably manicured, by the way. It might have been shipped in from like another island. I wouldn't be surprised if they bulldozed all the sand that was currently on the island just to get some sugar sand from another island, just so the pictures. I don't know. The light seems to be glistening a little weird off of this particular sand. Can we get some different sand? And they made it happen.
Pulled a full blown Sim City to the island, right?
Yeah, and they could afford to do it. God damn it, man! There's so many fucking idiots in the world making other idiots that are even dumber more famous and just enriching their fortunes so much. So I mean, I have to respect them because, again, the mom. Was it Chris? I mean, you think about it. Your daughter makes a sex tape, and you can either let it ruin her life with more daddy issues than she already has, or you can say, sweetheart, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then call Vivid up and get a nice fucking shiny box on that son of a bitch and make $1 billion industry out of it.
Now, you had said earlier, you said they wouldn't let you come there. They wouldn't let you come anywhere, to be honest with you. So just to be crystal clear about your this fantasy that you have about going to this Treasure Island type deal.
You invited me, asshole. I just said I wouldn't be allowed there.
No way.
Do you think they give away gift bags? That's really all I'd be.
Yeah, they said gift bags were included.
Oh, fuck. Hey, anyway, so, side note, as I was reading this, doing our research, as journalists do.
As a broadcast journalist, yeah.
Yeah, I came across a conspiracy theory, which, we love here.
You can share, by the way.
Oh, well, I don't have it up, but I was just gonna tell you guys and talk about it. I can find it though. But apparently, there's a conspiracy theory. This did not start the conspiracy theory, but apparently, a picture has lent credence to the fact that Kim Kardashian has 6 toes, which I'm pretty sure is a bullface lie. But there's a conspiracy theory around it, and people were like, "Check this picture out of her fucking 6th toe," which I'm pretty sure is just a bunion gone awry, and for some odd reason she's put all of the money into the ass and the face and the boobies, but you just can't get a bunion fixed. Like, come on, that seems...
Hold on. Okay, you can't explicitly talk about an extra appendage.
All right, I'm looking at it.
I've seen a picture, but I don't have it currently. And then,
damn it.
Okay, but now I will say that I have seen what I like to call it stripper toe, because those strippers, they like to wedge their feet into those super narrow, high-heeled shoes, and then all of a sudden, like that pinky toe, it just starts to creep inward towards like the ring finger toe, and then you get like this bubble on the outside knuckle of the pinky toe, and it does end up looking like an extra toe. And I have a feeling that Kim Kardashian has, like, I don't know, that Japanese foot shrinking technique to get her feet into some sort of weird concoction of a shoe, and that might be what that is.
So that's exactly what we're talking about. All right, here I got the share here. Let's check it out. So
just so you know, there was a female in my early on pornography days of dial-up internet who was from a conglomerate of like multiple young 20-year-olds who.
Okay, so this is the picture that we're talking about. I think everybody's seen it. It's like the cover of. It's like the picture they chose to be like, we had a party on an island because we're rich as shit.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what Murr is talking about. And that's what I think, Murr, you're absolutely right. I think that's what it is. I think it has, over time, just warped into a bunion on the wrong side of it. Because normally you see that shit on the other side of the foot. So I think she just got fucked up feet. It is what it is. It happens. That's what happens when you live in high heels, I believe. But apparently, lots of fucking conspiracy theorists think that's a sixth toe. I clearly don't think it is. I mean, even if it was, do we think this bitch would not get it painted like the rest of them? Like, silly.
Painted bunions like the rest of them. I like it.
Like the rest of her toes. I mean, if it was a toe, I feel like she would just own that shit. That's at this point, they are shameless. They would be like, yeah, I got 6 toes.
That's true. Yeah, and then she could market it. She'd probably name it. And probably
like fucking Chris would be like, you got to do a foot job with your 6th toe. We're going to make fucking zillions. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they would monetize that in some capacity. Don't sleep on the Kardashians whoring themselves out.
By the way, have you ever seen Megan Fox's thumb?
Oh, toe thumbs. Hardcore.
Oh, God. Oh,
they're
dude.
the fucking weirdest. I've never looked into the same after that.
It ruins everything you ever dreamed of about her. And then Britney Spears has some fucked feet as well.
That makes sense.
As does, if you want to see the most hideous foot in the world, look up. Yep, there you go. There you go. There is like a velociraptor claw just shooting out of the thumb knuckle. There is no top part of the thumb.
What I was going to say before we got into Kim's bunion toe, there was a group of girls who did modeling, kind of like near nudes. So I'm like 17. These girls are probably 20, 21, 22. One of them did in fact have a hoofed foot. I didn't realize it. She wore high heels a lot. But yeah. Oh yeah. I'll have to look this up. I'll give you the name.
But what do you mean by hoofed foot?
I tell you what, we got about a minute left until our break. I'll show you offline.
Okay, all right.
This is my work computer, man. I don't want to look at porn on this.
This is your fault for using a work computer for this. This garbage dumpster of fire.
Dumpster fire. Yeah, my bad.
Why you don't have a computer for this yet?
I live a simple life. Look, you got one dog going this way, one dog going that way, huh? Come on, that's me.
Where'd that Dracula penis go?
Oh, yeah, right here, baby. It's staring at me all day.
Nice.
This time, I suck you.
That's right. And unlike you're coming to Kim Kardashian's island, he's coming everywhere. All right, welcome back to the Middle Class Holes. Myself, Wes, Murr, Alan, joining us from the Big Apple, the Little Apple, the Horseshit Apple, or whatever we talked about earlier, Mr. Adam Calvert. And Adam, you're going to be our legal correspondent on a new bit here at the Middle Class Holes called Asking for a Friend. Thank you for joining.
Oh, my pleasure. I would have gone with Crab Apple myself, but that's all right.
Solid.
You get any
Yeah,
crabs
has
on
that place devolved into like the late 70s, mid 80s yet, or are you guys still holding together?
No, I haven't had to go. Oh shoot, what's that Charles Bronson movie? Where he's like the vigilante guy.
Oh, shit.
Death Wish. I haven't had to go like Death Wish on anybody. Fun fact: that movie was actually filmed on my block. He lived in a building like right around the corner from me, and I think he killed about 8 people in that movie within, I don't know, like a couple hundred yards of where I'm sitting right now.
That's awesome. I bet Charles Bronson had so much pull. He's like, I'm not going anywhere else. We're filming here. We're filming my house.
Back in the 70s, this was a bad area where I live.
Yeah, well, I mean, Times Square was like just nothing but porn shops and peep shows.
Yeah, now it's really going to shit. So
nothing but beaded curtains, and all the bad stuff. All the Charles Bronson movies you could find.
All right. Well, Adam is joining us for our brand new second segment called "Asking for a Friend." And so, Adam, as our legal expert, just asking for a friend. What is the statute of limitations for? Going to beat around the bush here a little bit. For maybe some sort of action where there is maybe a entry to a place that isn't necessarily yours, and maybe you want something that's not yours and you're going to take it with you anyway. Is there a statute of limitations on something of that nature?
Just to get a crystal clear detail that's ironed out with Murr, you said entry into a place. We entered into something that was outside of the place. And by we, I mean it's the friend that asked for this.
Yes. Yeah, just asking for a friend, of course. Just asking for a friend. If that were to happen, if someone were to enter a place outside of a place to get something that was not a part of their own place, is there a statute of limitations on that?
Well, what you're describing would be called burglary. And at least in Maryland, there is no statute of limitations on burglary. Okay. And sort of interesting point that Wes's friend raised about whether you actually have to go into a place or not. Traditionally, burglary, you have to actually go into a dwelling, right? But law has since expanded that to be any sort of structure, or even, for instance, in Maryland, second-degree burglary is defined as entering into what's called a storehouse, and that can include sheds and boats and other sorts of things, and even
large coolers.
Yeah, even as far as a bicycle shed. So it's pretty broad, no statute of limitations on that. So tell your friend to lay low.
Hold on. So when you say burgle, give us like a clear cut definition. Anything over or stolen any property, even if it's as of no value.
Well, actually, you don't even have to steal anything to commit burglary, as long as you have the intent to steal something. So you show up, you break into somebody's house because you think they have a bunch of diamonds, and it turns out they don't have any. You still committed burglary, even though you didn't take anything.
Okay, now what if it is an open gazebo, for example? Okay, so it's not actually inside of something that's locked up that you actually have to physically break into. What if it's just sitting right for the taking, but it's not on your property?
Well, I don't think that would be burglary then. There are cases where, for instance, if you were to, let's say, break into an amusement park or hop a fence into a farm or something like that and take something off the property, that's not burglary. But let's say you were to break into an amusement park and then bust into It's a Small World and start taking little statues or whatever, the little miniatures they have, then that's burglary, because you cross the line into entering or breaking into some sort of structure that holds something, as opposed to just trespassing on the property.
All right, let's pull on this thread a little further. What about Clark Griswold from the original Vacation movie, where they broke into Wally World and they didn't steal anything, but they just rode the rides? Besides the kidnapping of John Candy, of course, what would there...
That's trespassing.
Okay, so that's just trespassing. Because, technically they didn't take anything of value, but then again, the amusement park does charge for rides, so are they not stealing monetary value off of just utilizing the roller coasters without paying to use them?
No, I don't think so. And I'd have to see which rides they actually went into. It might be a little bit different if it was an indoor ride, as opposed to like a roller coaster, because you're entering into some sort of structure. But I doubt that it's like a case would actually turn on that sort of fact. It's really about the intent. It's also about the intent to steal something. So if you're just breaking in, and you're not actually planning to take any property, then you could argue that that's not burglary either. It's just trespassing.
Well, I kind of want to run with this Wally World thing. So now, presumably, amusement park rides are not there's a process to operation. I'm sure they don't just hire fucking Jim Bob for Hershey Park and he comes in and just starts whacking at the fucking roller coasters. I'm pretty
Hershey
sure
Park was a bad example because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they do.
Jim Bob hit start, and Jim Bob hit stop.
I'm sure they sent him in front of an old Dell PC and they watch some training videos about how to set the roller coaster in motion and then stop it. Presumably the Griswolds don't have such training. Mm-hmm. Are they liable for damages to the rides that they potentially damaged by misoperating?
Yeah, they definitely would be liable for that.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Things to think about.
No, I'm just thinking about this training video that the folks are getting at the Hershey Park, where there's some animated Hershey's Kiss, like, all right, folks, you're gonna pull the lever to the left, not the right. But we had this when we were having this overall discussion a few months back. We were discussing liquor and beer and things of that nature. If I stole. Asking for a friend. If a friend of mine stole a bottle of like high-end whiskey, like I don't know, Rip Van Winkle, right? Are they responsible for the actual value of the bottle as it sits on the shelf, or are they responsible for the value that the bar could sell it at? Because a bottle, I can't remember how much you said a bottle went for. We'll say $250, but they charge $50 a shot, and there's we'll say 20 shots in there, which would multiply how much that bottle is worth to the person who owned it originally. So would you be responsible for the price of the bottle at market value, or would you be responsible for the price of the overall profits of the bottle?
You would be responsible for whatever the retail value is. For instance, if you shoplifted, let's say, like clothes from a department store or something, asking for a friend, then you wouldn't go back and say, okay, well, all right, Nordstrom's, what did you pay the manufacturer for that? Oh, okay, no, I'll go one step further back. Hey, manufacturer, how much did it cost you to make that thing? What did you pay the sweatshop workers over in China to make that? Oh, okay, well, I only stole $5. So it would be the retail value of it.
Actually sounds like a good risk reward on a bottle of Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah. Asking for a friend. If said things that had been stolen outside of this place were then stolen by a third party and an inconsequential amount was stolen from what you had originally or my friend had stolen, would there be any grounds to have that person arrested for any type of theft, third-party theft of the original thievers?
Well, you can't. Well,
am I getting too deep into the thievery game to where you should just shut the fuck up?
I'm trying to think this through here. So, if you have stolen property, you can't. You could potentially charge them with larceny or robbery or burglary, depending on how the third party stole it from your friend. But you could definitely charge that next stealer with possession of stolen property or something like that.
Okay. Wow. I think my friend was like 18 or 19, so he didn't have the wherewithal to do such a thing. But now it's good to know.
Yeah. And I think one more in this whole realm of speech. So asking for a friend, if a friend was to say consume something that was taken by another friend, and the person consuming what was the other friend took, and they knowingly, they're aware that what they're consuming was in fact taken forcibly, does the person consuming what was taken, are they then in like an accessory of any kind?
Sounds like a sexual thing to me. I don't know and not only did you not specify whatever it is that's being consumed, which could be damn near anything, knowing your friend. I was also very unclear on who was consuming what and where it had been. So you may want to run that one by me again.
Okay, I think we got our answer that we need. Okay, second question. Okay, asking for actually, this one I think I can ask for myself, but I will ask for a friend. Can a friend of mine argue that he or she, in fact, owns their children? And I mean direct ownership, like legal ownership of another human being. I directly mean that. Not in a slavery sense, but in a, this is my, okay, Dice, maybe I do, but you're not mistreating them, but you do legally own this person, because a person, at least in America, isn't considered an adult and have full legal rights until they're 18 years old, and they are considered on tax paperwork as dependents. But I've always felt that the tax code is just there to like give you some extra scratch for making sure that this human that you own is in fact well kept and taken care of. So in a legal sense, do I own my child? Asking for a friend.
Well, I think the hang up here, the distinction is the difference between ownership and responsibility. Ownership implies that whatever it is you own is property. And even though children don't have legal rights, they can enter into contracts as long as their parent signs off on it. They can be legally responsible for things, and their parents can be legally responsible for them. But, my table here is property, certainly, but it can't enter into a contract. It doesn't have the same legal rights that children do, even though they can't vote. So I guess you don't really own your children. You're more responsible for them.
But aren't you always responsible for things that you own?
Yes, but that doesn't mean that everything you're responsible for is something that you own.
And not everything that you own has a conscience and has a decision. Yeah, he did. He lured the shit out of you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but not everything that you own has a conscience that can somewhat decipher right from wrong. What was the thing in Ozarks where the oldest daughter tries to enter into a legal plea to wanting to be on her own?
Oh, emancipation?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little bit different. Because the kid is basically saying like my parents are terrible. Oh, but even with emancipation, you would still be appointed, for instance, like a court guardian or something like that, depending on how old the kid is and the situation and everything. It's not like the kid gets to, be an adult or something like that just because they're emancipated from their parents. Mm-hmm. So there's still somebody that's looking over the kid in some sort of way, is responsible for them, or if the kid was going to, like I said, sign something or whatever, mm-hmm. Somebody's got to be able to sign off on it for them.
Gotcha. And just to Murr's friend told, and what you said makes perfect sense, because this person isn't on their own anymore. This isn't a 16-year-old who's now an adult and can do as they please. But Murr's friend did happen to tell their child that if they keep it up, they're going to take him down to Chinatown. Any type of repercussions legally on that for Murr's friend?
Well, so it's funny. It's not, at least federally, illegal to sell your child.
Really?
Federally?
They apparently tried to pass some sort of Can't Sell Your Child Act from, many times between like the 1930s, 40s, up until like the mid 90s, I believe. And it never passed. I don't know why.
I'm assuming there's state law,
Congress, right? Something. Well, actually I, did not research every state on that, but you can, you can, of course, sort of sell it. Well, you can sell a child in a way, I think, in that like adoption fees and things like that are illegal. So it's not like a direct, like here's $100,000 for your child. You can sort of play it out, I believe, in adoption fees and certain things. But it's not, at least what I found, there's no law against it. But it's not like you're actually selling the child. You're selling the guardianship of another person, not a piece of property. A little bit of a distinction. I think of like the difference between the children. I think of dogs a lot of times, right? So somebody who does not have children, who treats my dog like a child, the legal differences are vastly different. I mean, if your dog is injured or, is hurt by somebody else, it's just the property value of the dog. You can't recover for emotional trauma because your dog was killed. You can't recover for your dog's emotional trauma for getting hit by a car or something like that. You just get the property value.
Wait, so a Labradoodle is probably gets you a more of a payday than say just a mutt from the pound?
Well, I guess, yeah, because you spent more on that dog, yes.
Huh. Okay, but you said you can still legally sell a child. Is that what I was gathering from the point a few minutes ago?
All right. Let me clarify this with a little disclaimer. I don't want to be like a stickler lawyer on this thing, but
I know, but I just want to say,
don't sell your kids without talking to a child selling lawyer who specializes in that.
Ooh, child selling lawyer. All right.
Do you have a referral?
Because the only reason I ask that way is because if I'm using the words incorrectly, you'll have to forgive me. But it seems like sellership in on the reverse of that implies ownership, because you can't sell something that you don't own. So if you're able still, if there's a statute out there and it's still set so rock solid in stone that they need to change the laws, the rules, and the regulations moving forward to seam that up, it seems as though there is a legal argument that I do, in fact, my friend owns his child.
I think it's yes, I would agree with you. The difference is basically semantics. It's you own your child in the sense of I guess like the everyday idea of ownership and responsibility and things like that, but you don't own your child technically, under the law, because you can't own another person regardless of what age they are.
I'll have to remind you, Mr. Calvert, that in a court of law, the tone of your voice doesn't change the meaning of the words.
Yeah. Own.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You may own your child, but you don't own your child. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, they would see the air quotes. That's. I don't know. Is this videotaped or are we just audio?
You betcha, buddy. We got you. Everything you say is on the docket, right in the archives.
Well, there you go. The air quotes for everybody. You put that in the transcripts.
We have a stenographer sitting off to the side.
And final question tonight in asking for a friend. This is actually a news story that we wanted to get your take on. It's a rather lengthy news story, but it basically has to do with asshole neighbors, and I believe it's out of California. There's a dispute between Bond King Bill Gross and his next door neighbor over a $1 million outdoor sculpture, and it's devolved into different calls to the police, multiple legal actions, and the allegations that the billionaire investor blared the Gilligan's Island theme on at full volume on loop all hours of the night just to annoy his neighbors. It's so long. I don't want to go through the every nook and cranny of the story, but basically one of the neighbors had a $1 million hand glass blown statue put in his backyard, and then some things were getting thrown at it and causing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage. I think a pawn front fell on it, smashing something for another $50,000 worth of damage. So in order to protect his $1 million fragile outdoor glass sculpture, he actually erected a giant netting to go over top of it, and it's blocking the other guy's view. And so in response, he's being very dickish, and he's blasting this music. From a legal standpoint, who's right here? Because the way I see it, it's your yard, and you can do whatever you want with it. In response, though, it's your house, and you can blare your music as loud as you want, barring there's any kind of local regulation on decibel level. So how's this going? Add any details you want from the story, and who's going to win this case between the two billionaire asshole neighbors?
Yeah, well, I disagree with I think both of the things you said there. That you can just put the net up because it's your property, which in rural areas and things like that, sure you can. But in especially these Tony neighborhoods like these folks live in, there's all sorts of local property regulations, and that's not even considering if you're in some sort of homeowners association or something like that. So that, I mean, I think the story did say something to the effect of, he needed a permit for that netting and he didn't have it. So he's going to need to get the permit, basically. As far as blaring the music, you can play your music whenever you want, but if it's causing a nuisance to somebody else, because it's so loud, then you can't play it that loud. So I think that the guy's going to end up having to get a permit for the netting. He'll be told, the other guy will be told to stop the music. I think you did miss a couple. Well, one of the funniest things I've read in a while in this story, which is the guy who put the glass sculpture up, I guess, in his divorce with his wife a few years ago. So this just tells you what kind of guy this is. He trashed their old home and found some sort of spray or device that infused the home with the smell of puke and farts, which is just, wow. I mean, really sticking it to your ex-wife there, putting puke and fart bombs off in the house.
Yeah, I get. So, did you get a brand name on that? It'd be nice to ask him for a friend.
He did fess to it, and he said he got it at a drugstore, and he didn't mean to buy it, but he was going through a rough time in his life, and that just seemed like
Oh, yeah, right. You buy puke and fart spray when things are down in the dumps. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that brings up another part of something I wanted to ask you, because you could always instead of putting up the netting, if you didn't want people to come onto the property and break your fragile outdoor $1 million glass blown statue, what are the booby trap laws? Are there federal laws against booby traps, or are they all like state laws against booby traps? Because I've heard that booby traps are actually illegal, and I've never understood that, considering it's your property. And if you wanted to put a tiger pit loosely covered by leaves and sticks, I feel like that's your legal right.
No. So there are no actual federal, or there's very few states that actually have booby trap laws. But everywhere booby traps are illegal. And the rationale behind that's kind of twofold. One is that somebody could get accidentally hurt by it. I mean, a postman is there delivering a package, and oh yeah, you'd love that, dropping off somebody's package to somebody's house and a booby trap going off. I'm sure
Workman's comp for life, baby. They're retired.
Somebody's coming in to check on you because they haven't seen you in several weeks, which is probably going to happen if you're somebody who builds booby traps in your homes. You're probably a hermit or something. And you also want the response or the I guess force to be proportional. Somebody breaks in, they're trying to steal your property, but is that worth killing them over? No.
Wow. What about just loosely maiming them?
So I got a question, asking for a friend here. So if the person who's blaring the music, okay, if they were to actually start blasting 36 Chambers and say Gilligan's Island was only 3 seasons, but Wu-Tang is forever, is there any defense in that?
Well, Wu-Tang is forever trumps any legal argument out there. So
federal otherwise. Yeah. All right, I found a loophole. I always coin myself
as long as you don't play the Wu-Tang album that has Gravel Pit on there, as long as you stick to 36, maybe Wu-Tang forever, then you're fine. But if you start playing that other Wu-Tang albums, then you should go to jail.
I do have one final question regarding this story. It says defendant Tawfiq appears to have a particular fascination not only with Mr. Gross, but also Mrs. Schwartz, his live-in lover, particularly when the pair are swimming and thus wearing minimal, if any, clothing, states the lawsuit, which accuses Tawfiq of invasion of privacy, among other causes of action. Now, if your neighbors are scantily clad or not wearing any clad at all, is there a legal statute that says I'm not allowed to glare? Is ogling illegal anywhere in the 50 states?
Well, I think it would be different if you're sitting there with like a telescope or pair of binoculars, spying into their house versus, hey, I walked out on my back porch to have a smoke, and I look over my neighbor's yard and there's his wife in a bikini. I mean, you can't help that. You can't. There's no law that says that you can't look that way. But if you start to surveil them in some sort of way, then that's a different story.
What if you start rubbing yourself down with coconut oil and making inappropriate noises?
How close are you to them?
Well, obviously close enough to break out the coconut oil.
Well, if
noises.
I would say this: if you're on your own property and they're that close enough where they can see you and know what you're doing, then you're within your right to rub yourself with coconut oil and make noises.
All right. Just asking for a friend.
You can make noises yourself, or you have to. It has to be manifested by the squirt bottle.
Either or, any noises you want.
Because my friend my friend's neighbor has a pool. Just wondering. And that's it. That's all the questions I have as I ask for my friend.
All right, folks, this is going to be a regular thing. We have our legal correspondent, and Alan also is our political sex correspondent. So if you're asking for a friend on that, you got us covered, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say to our listeners, please send us in your legal queries. We will present them to Calvert here and
Dave
not give you a concrete answer. Yeah. We have two lawyers on retainer. So yeah, send us those legal questions. We will tackle them in a very inappropriate manner.
Right. And I didn't steal anything. Okay,
nobody
just so you know.
on the show stole anything or rubbed themselves in front of their neighbors or anything of the sort.
These are all potential crimes.
I didn't shoot off fireworks in the summer of 2002. All right, a few months back, if you guys recall, we had talked about something that Murr, actually, you were relatively game for, and I was as well. It was an article in which monkeys were being bar entertainment in Japan. Do you guys remember this?
Oh, I do. Then weren't they like using them as like miniature bartenders and then having them do weird, wacky shit on the bar, on the top of the bar?
Playing games, being joyous. They fitted them out in little jester outfits, and you were like, "Hell yeah, these are this is what it is." So recently, and this reminded me, and Murray, I'm glad you brought this up. So Costco is pulling products allegedly made with forced monkey labor. I feel I have a tough time saying that.
No, wait, Nike, as you said?
Costco.
They've been immune to any kind of like criticism for this kind of thing. It's usually Nike and Apple that are taking all the blame. But finally, good old-fashioned wholesaler Costco getting in on the slave labor action.
The alleged used forced monkey labor has led Costco to stop selling Tide-made coconut products. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, has been tracking such animal abuse since 2019, last year, while urging retailers to pull merchandise made from the bad actors to discourage the practice. USA Today reports, no kind shopper wants monkeys to be chained up and treated like coconut picking machines, PETA President Ingrid Newkirk said in a statement, according to the outlet. Basically, it goes on and on. Yeah, Costco is going to get the axe from free monkey labor as coconut pickers. This is odd. This is very, I don't know.
Wait, let's back up. They were using the monkeys to pick coconuts?
Yeah.
For, like, cocoa butter or coconut oil or whatever.
A variety of Costco products that involve coconuts. I don't know. Christ.
Okay. I mean, honestly, if we're being realistic here, it seems like a fucking wise use of a specific animal. Well, I mean, we use dogs to find bombs and drugs because they have that innate ability. I'm fairly certain monkeys are probably way more efficient coconut pickers than humans.
100%.
Besides cutting down clear-cutting trees, and then we don't get no more coconuts. So
isn't this the monkey's natural instinct to pick coconuts and do whatever a monkey does with a coconut, whether it's rip it open and eat it or what have you? It doesn't matter. Like, how is this? I just feel like everybody's winning here. The monkeys get to stay alive. They're not being eradicated because they're needed. And isn't that the purpose of life? Purpose? That's the purpose of life, is having purpose. They've given these monkeys purpose. And you know what? Monkeys operate very cheaply and efficiently. It's their natural instinct to do this action, which is grab coconuts. All they've done is trick them to bring them down the trees. It's a fun activity for the monkey. Ask the monkey if they're having a good day. That's what I'd like PETA to do. Does anybody take PETA seriously anymore anyway?
Right. I think they really botched it. Like, they're just going after the wrong things. Like, I get it, all animals, but like they tried the crab thing here in Baltimore, and that's just fucking bad idea. You know what I mean? I think this is just another one of like PETA's just overstepping. Like,
oh, I was like, hold on, let me wait on his next words here because I can only imagine how whimsical it is to watch a monkey pick a crab.
Right. But no, I think they're just. You're out of your depth, PETA. Okay, they're doing what they're supposed to do. You know what the crabs are doing in Baltimore? They're getting steamed because that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're made for. They're made for us to eat them. Monkeys are made for climbing trees, and if they so happen to pick fruit off of them, I think we're okay with it. Also, I mean, there is a large market of Costco shoppers that loves them some coconut product. So. Are we really? Who's really losing here?
What they had found was let's see here, Ken Stein, PETA's corporate responsibility officer. He found in a bit of his investigative work that he found a place. He found a place called the Monkey Center, which a lot of this was happening. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous to me. And then, quote, the Monkey Center is established and is turned into a new tourist attraction, which becomes popular amongst local people and foreigners. In the center, the monkeys will be trained to collect coconuts. Each training session takes about 4 months and requires a trainer and a student. I assume the student is one of the monkeys, but we gotta watch out for this monkey. No monkey business in the Monkey Center.
It sounds like conservation to me.
I agree.
Like, it does not sound like exploitation. It's not like we got what I assume is an endangered species. What are these, chimps? What kind of monkeys are these? Did we say that?
They did not actually.
Well, either way,
be honest
like
with you,
mad monkeys and monkey subspecies are endangered. So I'm going to assume that this one is too. And it sounds like we're treating these monkeys nice. They have human care. I'm sure they get unlimited coconuts. You know what I mean? That's probably a thing. And what are you going to do if he's just up there, like, clinging on with his feet, cracking a coconut and eating one, taking a little break? What are you going to do? Climb it? Fuck it. He's going to bring more coconuts down. Just give it a rest. I think, again, PETA, you're overstepping. Fuck off.
Yeah, and check this out. The investigation found that the monkeys can pick around 400 coconuts a day. I can't pick 400. I can't. You got to climb trees to pick coconuts. There's no human that can get up there and climb. Okay, this is green energy. Am I right? Yeah. These are renewable This is renewable energy.
Clearly renewable.
Wait for the monkeys to die. Monkeys breed like Catholic rabbits anyway. So that they're boom. You got more monkeys. Okay, it's a renewable resource. It's not fossil fuel. It's not burning anything. They're very efficient. And when humans are great at things, we utilize them and we champion them.
Also, you got to imagine the money savings on training. You don't have to sit them in front of a training video to teach them how to climb trees. They know how to do that. You wind me up and say, go pick me 400 coconuts today, and I'll tell you, go fuck yourself. Because that's not happening. Even with the skill set needed to do so, not happening. So yeah,
I might get 4 coconuts before I get exhausted and fall out the top of a 50-foot tree to my death?
Yeah.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
definitely going to fall at some point.
Well, I mean, it sounds as if Peter's got the upper hand. Costco's going to shut down the production of these parts, items, what have yous.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
That just means, and where is this? This is in Thailand, I believe. That just means that some other less than Costco company is just rubbing their hands together, waiting to get their hands on some sweet monkey feet to climb those trees and get their coconut products. What pisses me off the most about this story is the fact that they're basically using free labor and charging that much for all the coconut products that are sold on the market. They act like these things are so hard to harvest, yet they actually have a factory of just primates pillaging trees.
Also, let's be real. Sam's Club, Walmart's using small Asian children for this shit instead of monkeys. That's way worse. You know what I mean? Walmart doesn't give a fuck. They might use monkeys and then kill them out of spite because they're Walmart. So let Costco do their thing. Costco's good people.
And also, according to the the article, they said that this was one of the trainers / tamers that was actually seeking havoc on everything.
I'm Brian Fellows.
Yeah, Mr. Brian Fellows was apprehended on site and is in detainment in Thailand.
It's just, for me, I know I like to talk a lot about monkeys. It's because I'm fascinated by them. I think that they're a useful species. If it wasn't for monkeys, we wouldn't have won the space race, baby. We sent chimpanzees into, just suborbital flights to make sure that these rickety dumpsters that we strapped 20 stories of rocket fuel to didn't explode in the upper atmosphere. If it wasn't for monkeys, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I think it's our responsibility to make sure that small primates earn a modest wage for a modest day's work. Let them climb trees for coconuts.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's fair.
That could be a punchline. It's like, if it wasn't for primates, we wouldn't have gotten to where we have today. And it's where we need to stay on Earth.
If it wasn't for primates, Megan Fox's thumbs would fucking look like humans.
Christ. All right, Mur, hit us up with some funky ass shit.
It's that time, my friends. It's time for your 3 favorite questions of the week. My friends, it's officially time for 3 and Out. And 3 and Out is, of course, being brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Find them on Facebook if you've got any kind of ginger feeling below your knee and above your ankle. There's an entire support group out there just for you. And tonight we're going to start once again with our 3 and Out sneak peek question of the week. And if you haven't seen it, head on over to the official The Middle Classholes Facebook page. It's our latest post, and you can find it there. So this week, it's a simple question. DeVito or Trejo? Who would you rather have play you in a movie? And, of course, I put a shirtless picture of both up just so people get a... Okay, now you got to remember that Danny DeVito is a rather petite man. I believe Danny DeVito is 4'11". He looks a little husky, but I'll tell you what, though. He looks, even in that picture, which is probably from about 10 years ago, looks to have kept himself in pretty good shape for a man of his stature. And then, of course, you have Danny Trejo, who I believe was like a Mexican gangbanger at one point, turned himself around, did a lot of weightlifting in the old prison system, never really got the pineapple out of his face. But I hear is actually a rather sweet man who just happens to be an okay actor. So, Wes, we'll start with you this week. Who's going to play you in the movie role? Okay, obviously, it's not going to be... the likeness is not what we're going for.
Yeah. Gotcha. Who's going to play me? It's weird. I was watching Goodfellas upstairs before we hopped on today with Sarah, and I had made note of. Do you know the character that not Danny DeVito? Christ, Joe Pesci plays
In all of his movies, yes, I'm aware.
No, in Goodfellas.
Like his name? Is that what you're looking for?
Tommy DeSimone, the character he plays, the person who actually existed in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently that guy was like 6'2" and a kind of a brute dude. So it's not a matter of the stature. It's a matter of who can portray your character better. Christ, it's Danny DeVito all day. I'm a goofball, man. I'm always dicking around. I'm always hooting and hollering. I mean, I get that Trejo? Was it Dave Trejo?
It's Trejo.
It's
Trejo.
Sorry. He looks like he eats a lot of spicy food, as do I. That might be where the comparisons stop and end. It's got to be DeVito, man. Minus the Penguin from Batman 2.
By the way, I can't really...
Specifically the Penguin from Batman 2.
I can't really get to the comments on this one because everybody just seemed to put up a picture or a meme of Danny DeVito doing something ridiculous. Mike kind of took a cop-out. He said, DeVito plays me as a child. Trejo plays me as an adult. Yes, there you go. The got to pay the troll toll.
Yeah.
From the Nightman Cometh, I believe, from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Cometh.
But Alan, same question to you. Would you prefer that the grizzled Danny Trejo portray you in film, or the wide-ranging acting abilities of Danny DeVito?
So this one was tough because, like Wes was saying, I was aesthetically, I mean, I'm a Danny DeVito, but I am a saucy Latino man, much like Danny Trejo. So parallels. My somewhat cop-out, because you called the other Mike's answer cop-out, was that I would put Danny Trejo's head onto Danny DeVito's body, and then that would be me.
Okay.
And I think that kind of works out. He's got strong face hair, Danny Trejo. Danny DeVito, not so much. Trejo has a head of hair, luscious locks. But then we take that fiery Latino heat and we just package it into a tiny little Vienna sausage, and I just putz around doing crazy shit as Danny DeVito does. I agree with Wes. You know, I'm a jokester. DeVito definitely fits the bill, but I think, you know, to get the best of both worlds, I really want that Trejo face, because you could that face could stare down Satan himself.
Well, I just want to throw this little caveat in there, because you and I, men of smaller stature, like, wouldn't it be nice, though, to have someone who's like 6'2", between 6'2" and 6'4", just buff and ripped? Like, you know, wouldn't it be nice to have that portrayed as who we are for once in our lives?
I mean, yes, but also I think I lose a little comedic edge if I'm not, you know, a chubby guy. Like, I think that helps. Like nobody looks at Danny Trejo as like, yes, comedy. You know what I mean? So I think I got to keep keeping the physique allows me to keep my comedy, but then I still get my spicy Latino flavor from my acne scarred mustachioed face.
Right. Your Latino heat.
And also, he could never hear this because he'll kill me.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like Machete was actually more of a documentary than a.
Oh, that's what I heard. I heard it was like a memoir.
Yes, Danny Trejo's. I think he did really dirty shit.
No, I think he did, like, he was like manslaughter or something, like, back in the day, and then went to prison. Like, was in like San Quentin.
Wow. So he had a threesome with Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. He plays me. He plays me all the way.
Wait, which Lindsay Lohan though? Like now Lindsay Lohan or Mean Girl?
I know, in the movie Machete. He.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I forgot she was in that. Yeah, okay.
That's, you know, sorry, I didn't go through Machete before we fired this one up this evening. My bad.
And by the way, I do feel like Machete was almost a mercy film for Danny Trejo, because he never starred in his own movie. He was always that character actor that everybody, hey, you look like a grizzled asshole. And then finally, I think it was it Robert Rodriguez? Is that the director of Machete? I think he was finally like, hey, Danny, I got some I got some storage left on this flash drive in my camera. You want to make a movie real quick? I feel like that's what Machete was. And then everybody just kind of like gave him a mercy box office just for being around Hollywood so much.
Danny Trejo has threesomes with Lindsay Lohan. Danny DeVito is married to Rhea Perlman, who is Carla from Cheers. Just Google that.
By the way, I actually Rhea Perlman. I actually saw Rhea Perlman on the streets of Baltimore in my youth. I got her autograph. And how weird must it have been for Rhea Perlman, who starred on Cheers, to have like a 9-year-old ask for her autograph in the street?
I love your stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so I looked at this, and it was a simple answer for me as well. I straight up took Danny DeVito. I just think it's a testament to how good an actor that guy is. Could you imagine if Danny DeVito even had mildly attractive, good looks? He has been in starring roles as one of the ugliest, most oddly shaped men in Hollywood for years. Probably the best television sitcom actor of 2 generations, going all the way back to Taxi.
Yeah.
Wide range of emotions. He can portray anything. Think about how emotional he was at Big Fish with Ewan McGregor.
That's a great movie.
Dude, like all the way through to like the comedy of Throw Mama from the Train, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I mean, just classic, amazing characters. It doesn't matter what he looks like; he can do anything.
If you look, he actually starred. Had a supporting role in one of my favorite movies of all time, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He's one of the patients. When are we going to win our money back?
Dude, he's a phenomenal actor. He can hit every emotion. I think the three of us are. We all have fiery tempers. We're all silly fucks. And I think DeVito could hold court in all areas.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Moving on to question number 2. All right. This is kind of a Groundhog Day-esque question. I'll start with you, Alan. Would you rather be forced to live the same day over and over again for a full year, or take the last 3 years off your life?
Ugh.
Right? Those are usually the bad years, though.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm going option 1. I think that's pretty cut and dry. Like, yeah, no. I don't want to shave years off. I'm trying to live forever, baby. Never dying, always living. But yeah, I don't think there's really, and especially me like that. That's not even an option for me. I think I would have to it would be a weird year. But then again, I think presumably I start to catch on. And I'm like, well, fuck it. Let's just get into some shenaniganry.
I feel like awareness would have to be part of the equation, because otherwise you wouldn't even know you're living the same day over and over again for a year. So kind of a la Groundhog Day, I feel like you would have to eventually come around to the fact that this is the same shit that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, okay, my question would be, 1, do I get to pick what day it is? Or does it randomly happen?
Oh, no. I think it has to randomly happen.
Okay.
Do you mean do you get to pick is it Wednesday? Or do you mean do you get to pick this very specific day?
Very specific day.
Okay.
No, because obviously you're going on vacation soon, and that would be one of the days you pick for the full year, so no, I think you have to yeah, duh.
Okay.
No,
so if it's random, then do the subjects that I run into, are they only persuaded or influenced by the last day of that year?
Okay, you have to explain that a little bit better. So, so if you're reliving Wednesday, they're only aware of everything up to Tuesday?
No. Yeah, well, yeah, like Tuesday of day 364.
Their memory of things happening every day stops at the last day. So if you
right.
went to work,
so when that year comes to an end and I kick out a la day after Groundhog Day, when he drags Annie Potts outside and goes, well, it's tomorrow. Okay, are the subjects that I hang around with all day, assuming I'm working or whatever, the people I'm around, are they? Does their conscious carry over just from that last day, of the last day of repeating over and over again?
Correct. Yes. So if you've decided to go into full disparity mode and become a total cocksmoker on day 365, then you have to suffer that consequence on day 1 /366. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you got to pull the fucking like the Adam Sandler farting in David Hasselhoff's face on like day 100. Don't do that on the last day. That's bad moves.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
What did you choose?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I would relive. Yeah.
1 year?
3 years off? That's the 3-year commitment, number one. And then it doesn't seem that bad once I catch on.
Yeah, but you're not, there's no skin in the game on that one, really. You know, like you're going to come home. It's going to be the same. You're going to go to work in the morning. It's going to be the same chitter chatter or not go to work. And then you're going to have to get, but then again, that wouldn't matter. But the last 3 years, you know, you're just going to, let's say you're going to die at 80. Okay. So you kick the bucket at like 77. It's just like, hey, that's it. You know, you just get to live your life.
I'm just trying to live, though. You know, I'm out here trying to live.
Yeah, America don't want to see us relive days over. Americans want to see us live.
Yeah, they want to see us live. But no, I mean, I get what you're saying. But like, likewise, I mean, I'm kind of just Groundhog Day 2020, quite frankly. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm already in it. Let's just.
And if you think about it,
it's not that bad.
You still kind of lose a year of your life in a way.
Yeah.
So there is that little caveat.
Yeah, I'm a little boned about it. Fuck COVID. Kill it.
What if it was?
I'm supposed to be traveling. Goddamn it.
Well,
I know. I get what you're saying.
I don't know. No, like relive a day over for a year. It'd be miserable. You're not going to change the world that much. Nor I feel like yeah, maybe it lasts like a year of my life. So, but like. Not so bad, but I don't know. Or bad, rather. I want those last 3 years. I want them.
Okay, so you're going to relive the year over and over and over again.
No, I did not say that. I said I would not do that and take the.
Wait, what? I thought
you would die 3 years early.
No.
The fuck are you saying, man?
You said no to both of them.
I said I would. I wouldn't. I would. Hold on. Wait. What is it now?
Would you want to live the same day over again for a full year or die 3 years early?
Yeah, I'd relive the same day over and over again for a year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. I think it would just be kind of a hoot. I mean, you might get tired of it at times, but you still have plenty of like a week or two to like reset. You could just not go to work. You don't have to care. You could just finally on that last week kind of get reacclimated to like your old life and then all of a sudden just kind of move on. I just feel like I could go out and I could do I know you'd have a very short window to get it done, but you could kind of just go do some of those things you've always just wanted to do.
Sure.
Like, fuck it, empty the bank account. I'm flying to Malibu. I'm going to jump off the cliffs, do a little cliff diving tomorrow. Fuck it. See you later. And just do that every day for about 360 days, and then you know.
Now, can you get killed and then come back?
I was gonna say that was my question because you said cliff dive. Can you die?
You know, I really didn't ponder that. Okay, so what if? All right, let's factor that in. What if the consequences are still real? Like you still wake up and it's today again, but the consequences on your physical body are still there. Does that change your answers at all?
So we're saying, like, when you say the physical body, so, like, I can get injured,
sure.
I can get hurt. That stays. But if I fart in my boss's face tomorrow, he doesn't know that. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. No, yes, still. I would ultimately, I feel like I would learn that. That's one of the things I learned, like, day 15. I'm like, all right, things are working out. All right, let's see if I die. Or let's see if I hurt myself. And then I hurt myself, and I wake up the next day, I'm like, fuck. All right. To self. Don't kill myself. So I feel like that's how that would go, but I'd still take the days.
Yeah.
It makes it a little less fun. You know, because if you drank a bottle of like Crown Royal, you'd wake up with a fucking blistering hangover. But, you know, a couple days on that bender, you get over it.
Right. You just don't go to work again.
Yeah, that's what Pedialyte's for. It's not for hydrating children. It's for getting drunks over hangovers.
Your call out time just resets every day. You have all those sick days.
By the way, they started marketing Pedialyte to adults with their recent commercial. It's like a guy like sitting in front of his refrigerator, just drinking Pedialyte. It's like, it's not just for kids, but it tastes like shit.
I was famous for that shit. Yes. So there is a advanced formula. Just so you know, when you're looking at your Pedialyte, there's regular Pedialyte, then there's Pedialyte advanced formula. That shit's a little bit more flavorful and tastes less like fucking syrup asshole. So yeah, just so you know, in case you need to get yourself over a hangover. I used to like when we went to weddings, I used to stock those. Like I'd take like 3 of them. You know what I mean?
No, I just feel like you nailed the flavor. Like if syrup
asshole.
had an asshole,
or if there was asshole syrup like that, if that was a legit substance, that's what regular Pedialyte tastes
Booyah.
like. Oh, and stay away from that clear shit.
Yeah, I got that clear shit for my kid, and then I got a ripped up hangover, and I tried drinking it, and I wasn't even gonna vomit from drinking. I was gonna vomit from drinking that nasty garbage.
Yeah. Oh, and the other tip is ice cold.
And finally, your last 3-and-out question of the evening. The holiday season is officially upon us. We have Halloween coming up, then it's Thanksgiving, and then, of course, it is Christmas. So your final question, Wes, we will start with you this time. Would you rather watch nothing but Hallmark Christmas movies or nothing but horror movies? The only movie options you have are for the rest of your life are one of the two. Which one do you choose?
I feel like I'm going to get knee-jerk on this, and you're going to say, well, you didn't think it through, but I would go horror movies, given the fact that I think that there are some very good horror movies. Okay, there's some fantastic ones. Now, you're probably going to have to deal with some shit, but most of Hallmark movies are shit, and most of the dialogue between characters is shit. Most of the writing of that is shit, and most of it is someone like, oh, God, you made some great cookies? Well, come on in and have some. It's shit like that. It sucks. It's terrible. I'm not a denouncer of horror movies, but I'll watch those if you're going to give me the case. If it's one or the other, I'll take the horror movies.
Okay, Alan.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear the first part of the question, so I know we're talking about horror movies or Hallmark movies, maybe.
No, okay. So the question is, for the rest of your life, you can choose one or the other. Would you rather watch nothing but Hallmark Christmas movies or nothing but horror movies?
Oh yeah, horror movies. I'm a Christmas guy, you know that. But if I had to watch Hallmark Christmas movies for the rest of my life, I would fucking make it a day before I blow my brains out. So horror movies, because I'm a big horror movie guy as well. So it kind of works in my favor. Like it's a genre I am a fan of.
See, this is the caveat that you missed. Hallmark Christmas movies are horror movies.
It's true. That is brutal. So does that mean that like after it fucking like, you know, Susan's Miracle on 34th Street comes on and it is a horror movie? Does it fit into the genre? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now that you have said that, and I kind of agree with you, does that make it into the horror movie playlist?
No, I'm gonna have to say it. It's either Hallmark produced or nothing, and then it's either, you know, I mean, you do have a wide variety of horror films. I would say that most horror films, up until, I'd say, I'm gonna draw a line actually at Scream. I feel like horror movies got incredibly, just infinitely better after Scream moving forward. You got to the Blair Witch Project, and then you started getting some CGI in there that really started enhancing them. They really started throwing some dollar bills towards these movies because they know that franchises sell tickets, and those things go into just perpetuity, this forever. Like those films will be watched forever every single year. And if you decide to opt out of the Hallmark movies, you'll miss some of the greatest work from Lacey Chabert, Tamara Mowry Housley, she has a last name now. Candace Cameron Burr, for God's sake, from Full House. Jesus Christ, guys. You would miss out on such titles as Jingle Bell Bride and Christmas Tree Lane. You also have Chateau Christmas. I got to admit, though, I have sat down rather inebriated and attempted to watch some of these Hallmark Christmas movies. I'm not going to lie. As douchey and cheesy as they are, every now and again, they will jerk a tear. They will jerk a tear out of these crusted over eyeballs, man. No, and they're fun to watch just for the comedy's sake, how badly they're written, how poorly they're acted, how low budget they are, how unbelievably predictable the storyline actually is. I just feel like they've churned these things out for what, 50 years now? God. Hallmark, at least you would have more variety. I feel like horror movies, you would run out and just be tired of it at some point.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Hallmark movies are Sharknado level production. And it's like listen to the actresses you just said.
Oh,
like,
I know.
It's basically fucking other dude from 90210 or dude from 90210 and Sharknado. Ian, because his name's not. I refuse to call him Ian. Whatever the fuck his last name is. So like, nah, I can't do it, man. I can't bring myself to do it. And then like multiple Sharknados, like there are fucking sequels to these Hallmark movies. Like, nah, I couldn't do it. And that's me being Christmas guy. Couldn't do it.
And you think about things like this. I watched one not too long ago where Brian Doyle Murphy, Bill Murray's brother, star of Groundhog Day, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Who and Brian Doyle Murphy was in that. Plays Saint Nick, and he was trying to keep it under wraps, and it's very just it didn't really necessarily take a Sherlock Holmes level detective to from scene one to be like, okay, yeah, like I Santa Claus. And it's like, oh God, that cinnamon coffee smells delicious.
I got to tell you, man, like Hallmark definitely found their audience, though. I just love some of these synopsises. Here you go. One royal holiday. When Anna offers a stranded mother and son shelter in a blizzard, she learns that they are the royal family of Galwick. Anna shows the prince how they do Christmas in her hometown, encouraging him to open his heart and be true to himself. Like, this got passed. This got money.
You said it with sensations. Idiots.
Yeah.
Come on. We've been over this.
I mean, and of course you've got Cranberry Christmas.
You're kidding me, right? That's a real one?
Cranberry Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, Cranberry Christmas. A separated couple feign marital bliss on national television to help their town's Christmas festival and their business. But what will the future hold for them when they rekindle love? It's complicated and offers new opportunities.
God, I really hope that like 75% of that movie is just like two people in a fucking cranberry bog, like just talking about stuff. I mean, I assume that's all it is.
It's like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 meets...
Yes.
And coming up on November 7th, don't miss Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater. Single mom Maggie is facing Christmas alone until Lucas crashes into her life and becomes an unexpected house guest. Together, they overcome Christmas while finding comfort in their growing bond. Wow. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, Christ. There it is. 3 and out, folks.
Yes.
Oh, man. Oh, real quick recap on something that we didn't recap. So what do you call that? Fake recap? You guys are from the era that I'm coming from. Saved by the Bell reboot trailer dropped. And am I all in or am I not all in? I don't know. Listen, I wasn't a big fan of it back in the day, but I got it.
What?
Stop.
What?
Stop.
What does it mean?
Stop.
You didn't watch it before you went to school?
I did. Amongst other things. Like,
all right, so let's see this trailer. Yeah, like that fucking hoofed foot naked broad, you weirdo.
This fall on the Peacock, watch as Zach, Kelly, and Slater rejoin Bayside High.
Watch as
You're excited
Kelly
for this.
Later. Fucking travel to a rehabilitation center in San Bernardino to visit Screech.
I would like to point
landed
out
on hard times since dropping out of Harvard
and getting shit on by a sex worker.
I would like to
film.
I would like to point out that the first thing that this person wrote about notes from the thing, like, there might be some mileage on the tires of Jessie Zapano, but she could still get it.
Wow.
All right.
That's all I need to know. I'm watching it.
Yo, Mama. Sorry, Dr. Mama.
How do you think this year's gonna go for these new students?
I'm psyched.
You're excited for the first day of school?
Why is everybody so rich?
Are you ready for my party Saturday night?
I got DJ Khaled's Baby to make you a playlist. It's okay.
Time out. What is up with these kids?
In attendance will be the governor of
Look
California.
at
Max
this
Dad?
fucking guy.
You look amazing, and your hair's fire.
My dad's also coming.
I don't care about your dad, Spencer. I just care about Zach and Kelly.
We all want these new kids to feel welcome.
Can we talk?
Did you
She a
just sit
guidance
backwards
counselor?
in a chair? Wow, never seen anyone do that in real life.
It's not gonna work unless we get to know them.
You only know how Bayside works for kids like you.
Hot kids, privileged kids. Privileged kids.
Bayside, it's where I finally felt like I belong. This place is magic.
Feels like the Max.
Hey, Max, actually, I ordered cheese on mine. Take a look in your pocket.
That guy had
Does
an
this place
age
never
until
stop
a
being
beard.
weird?
A 1, 2, 3. The old gang back together again.
Will you go to dinner with me?
Stop
Yeah, so
eavesdropping.
do I.
not.
It doesn't
We're
need to
the
be
base-
2 minutes.
All right, yeah, we're gonna end it there, and it begins
hold on.
here and it ends there. What?
All right. So all I gotta say is, if Jesse Spano doesn't fucking keep a teenage girl off of fucking speed because she's trying to meet unreasonable expectations that her parents have set for her, then I'm out. That's it. That's basically it.
I'm so sad.
I'm so excited.
The best part of the trailer is honestly, it's the last line in the trailer. They're over at the kids are over at Slater's house, and one of them says, "You know, Mr. Slater, when I grow up, I want to be just like you, single, childless, and partying with kids." that's the only thing funny I saw in that whole trailer. But am I gonna watch it? The answer is yes.
Well,
Yeah, there was definitely. I got to get a greater assessment of Jesse Spano. On the surface, maybe could not still get it. So commenter on whatever that was, meh. But I seen to Kelly Kapowski, who could probably still get it.
Well, so how is it that Zach is now the governor of fucking California? I mean, how did that happen?
Well, he's obviously very charismatic. He's very manipulative.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a sociopath.
I think at his heart, he's a kind soul. He's just maybe a little rambunctious for, so, but I think he wants to do good at the core, but you have to be a little fake and a little phony to become a politician. Zach Morris should be a politician, and he is a politician, and I believe it. I believe every bit of that show.
Great.
It was either that or ambulance chase a lawyer like Franklin and Bash, whichever one he was. So, I mean, it's pretty much spot on for the role.
He's not the fucking governor of California. We're not watching that. I'm boycotting it. Like Hallmark movies and everything else is fucking season, all right? We're not watching it. If you guys watch it, I'm done. We're not doing this show anymore.
You brought it up, man. Look, they're like right in my wheelhouse. Like they were, as far as the chronology of the show is concerned, they were like seniors in high school when I was like a sophomore in high school. So it was like right in my wheelhouse. And then the show was so popular that even when they graduated high school, they brought them all back. They brought Screech and AC, and
they made them go work at a fucking beach club and shit. Like,
well, that was still part of the show, but then they
it?
went to college. It was Saved by the Bell of the college years.
Oh fuck! Oh, I do remember. Didn't Bob Golick come in on that one, or is that a totally different show?
I have no idea who
stuff.
Bob Golick is.
You know who Bob Golick is, don't you, Wes?
Yeah, that's the 47th governor of Maryland.
yeah, he was on Saved by the Bell. He was the old like football player guy who one of them lived with at college. Yeah.
Oh yeah, guy with the beard. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the guy who looked like he was fucking 45 and they were all 21. Like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, nothing weird about that.
Nope.
No. I mean, it was a different time.
Christ. All right, folks. I'm Wes. Murren Allen joining me. Calvert, thank you on the Asking for a Friend. That'll be a regular segment. Check us out on the social media platforms, NDL Classholes. And you know what? Don't kiss your mother with that mouth, all right? hand out the fucking hand out the candy to the kids. All right, it's coming up, huh? What do you say?
Hand out the COVID to your kids.
Hand out
Good
the
message.
COVID. I didn't hand out the. No, I didn't say that. Son of a bitch. Good night.